Clint Eastwood was born Clinton Eastwood Jr. on May 31, 1930, in San Francisco, California. From an early age, he displayed a quiet determination and subtle intensity that would become the hallmark of his on-screen presence. Growing up during the Great Depression instilled resilience and a strong work ethic, while his parents, Clinton Eastwood Sr. and Margaret Ruth, provided a modest, stable home. Eastwood often struggled with shyness and self-confidence as a youth, traits that later informed the stoic, understated energy he brought to his characters. After high school, he worked various jobs, from paperboy to lifeguard, before serving in the US Army during the Korean War era. Though he never saw combat, military discipline shaped his quiet, controlled demeanor. Upon returning to civilian life, Eastwood pursued acting, taking lessons, appearing in small TV roles, and steadily building the skills that would support a legendary career. Breaking out on television. Eastwood's breakthrough came with the CBS television series Rawhide, 1959 to 1961, where he played Rowdy Yates, a determined young cowboy navigating the challenges of the Old West. Though not the show's initial star, Eastwood's charisma, understated toughness, and ability to convey emotion subtly won over audiences. Rawhide showcased his natural screen presence and laid the groundwork for a transition from television to film. By the early 1960s, Eastwood had begun to attract attention from major directors, demonstrating a rare combination of physicality and depth. His performances revealed a man capable of expressing tension and moral complexity without words, a talent that would define his career in westerns and beyond. These years cemented his reputation as a reliable and compelling actor, prepared to take on more challenging and iconic roles. The Dollars trilogy and international fame. Eastwood's international fame skyrocketed with his work in Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy, A Fistful of Dollars, 1964, For a Few Dollars More, 1965, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 1966. These spaghetti westerns revolutionized the genre, presenting morally ambiguous anti-heroes, stark landscapes, and realistic violence. Eastwood's Man with No Name became instantly iconic, embodying efficiency, quiet cunning, and a moral code of his own. His subtle expressions and steely gaze communicated volumes, showing audiences that heroism could be complex and silence could speak as loudly as dialogue. The trilogy solidified Eastwood as an international star and demonstrated his instinctive understanding of cinematic tension, pacing, and audience psychology, laying the foundation for his later career as both actor and director. Behind the camera beyond acting, Eastwood has left an indelible mark as a director and producer. His directorial debut, Play Misty for Me, 1971, showcased his mastery of suspense and character-driven storytelling. Over the decades, Eastwood directed critically acclaimed films such as Unforgiven, 1992, Million Dollar Baby, 2004, Gran Torino, 2008, and American Sniper, 2014. These films often explore redemption, morality, and human struggle, reflecting both his personal philosophy and deep understanding of human nature. He has earned multiple Academy Awards, including Best Director and Best Picture, establishing himself as a visionary filmmaker whose influence transcends generations, proving his skill extends far beyond the screen. Private life and family. Eastwood's personal life has been complex and often public. He married Maggie Johnson, a schoolteacher, on December 19, 1953, when he was still an emerging actor. They had 2 children, Kyle, born 1968, and Allison, born 1972, and remained married for over 3 decades before separating in 1984. While still legally married, Eastwood had a long-term relationship with stuntwoman Roxanne Tunis, producing daughter Kimber Eastwood in 1964. From 1975 to 1989, he was involved with actress Sondra Locke, a relationship under intense media scrutiny. During this time, he fathered additional children outside these partnerships. Later relationships included actress Frances Fisher, with whom he had daughter Francesca Eastwood, 1993, and Dina Ruiz, his second official marriage in 1996, producing daughter Morgan Eastwood. Ruiz and Eastwood separated in 2013, finalizing divorce in 2014. These personal complexities unfolded alongside his steadily ascending career, illustrating a life lived in both public admiration and private nuance. Respecting a peer. Lee Van Cleef. Clint Eastwood, celebrated for his film achievements, has consistently expressed admiration for fellow actors. When asked whom he respects most, he immediately singled out Lee Van Cleef, renowned for his work in spaghetti westerns and classic Hollywood cinema. Eastwood's admiration stems from Van Cleef's unique ability to portray morally complex villains with precision, intensity, and authenticity. Van Cleef, born in 1925 in Somerville, New Jersey, often played the antagonist, yet elevated every role through subtle expressions, controlled body language, and a commanding presence that drew audiences into the story. Eastwood admired how Van Cleef could communicate tension and danger without theatrics, a skill that matched Eastwood's own disciplined, understated approach. To Eastwood, watching Van Cleef was like observing a master at work, someone whose focus, timing, and understanding of cinematic rhythm transformed every scene. Professionalism and craft. Eastwood's respect for Van Cleef goes beyond technical skill. He admired Van Cleef's professionalism, work ethic, and resilience in an industry that frequently typecast him. Despite playing mostly villains, Van Cleef approached each role with dedication, turning limitations into an art form. Eastwood highlighted how Van Cleef's presence elevated scenes, teaching lessons about timing, subtlety, and respect for fellow actors. Lee knew what it meant to show up prepared, respect the story, and respect your colleagues, Eastwood said. That's the kind of professionalism that earns respect, and he had it in spades. For Eastwood, Van Cleef's artistry was a reminder that great acting requires precision, discipline, and an understanding of narrative rhythm, not just charm or visibility. A lasting influence. Eastwood's public recognition of Lee Van Cleef is both a tribute and a lesson. It underscores that the greatest actors influence through craft, discipline, and authenticity. Eastwood noted that Van Cleef's ability to communicate danger and emotion with minimalistic gestures set a standard for performers in westerns and beyond. By honoring Van Cleef, Eastwood emphasizes that true respect in the industry is earned through dedication, skill, and presence. His words offer aspiring actors a clear message. Fame is fleeting, but mastery of craft, professionalism, and subtlety leave a lasting legacy. For Eastwood, Van Cleef remains not just a respected peer, but a standard-bearer for excellence in acting. Reflection on career and legacy. Clint Eastwood's own career reflects the principles he admired in Lee Van Cleef. From television westerns to international film stardom and acclaimed directorial work, Eastwood built a body of work defined by focus, authenticity, and subtle power. Off-screen, he has navigated complex personal relationships, civic responsibilities, and public scrutiny with the same stoicism he brought to his characters. His acknowledgement of Van Cleef serves as a reminder that even icons rely on learning from peers, appreciating craft, and recognizing the talent of others. Eastwood's journey shows that respect, mastery, and integrity are as central to lasting legacy as awards, box office success, or fame. Clint Eastwood's words. "There are many actors I admire," Eastwood once said, but Lee Van Cleef was something special. Watching him, learning from him, being in the same world as him, those are experiences that stay with you forever. In celebrating Van Cleef, Eastwood illustrates the profound impact one actor can have on another, and how true greatness in Hollywood is defined not just by stardom, but by discipline, presence, and unwavering commitment to the art of storytelling.